Hey, good day and welcome to VIOC in Action, Virgin Islands Olympic Committee's informational show where we try to get you all the happenings on what's going on with the Virgin Islands Olympic Committee and all of the sporting federation. Let me put this out there. For those federations who are listening, say, man, I want to get on that show. I want a good word to get out about my federation. Send me an email to viocinaction@gmail.com. viocinaction@gmail.com. Set it up. Let's get you on air. Let's get the world knowing about your amazing federation. You know, running a federation, being part of these organized events, there are a lot of hard work, and we do not want your work taken for granted at all. We so want you to come on the show and spread the good word about your fantastic federation. And you know, it's good to be able to get the word out, but you know, I want to get the word out about more of the federations, you know, because the Virgin Islands Olympic Committee, we have a good bit of federations, and we have many ways that you can simply contact us. You know, a lot of people still unsure, but we definitely want your word out to the world. So if you're in the territory, or if you think the telephone is the best method of you making contact, you can call the office during work hours. 340-719-8462. 340-719-8462. If you want to send an email, you might be traveling, you might be out of the territory, or you just email is your better means of communication. You can send it to, well, first let me give you our website address. Website address is www.virginislandsolympics.org. www.virginislandsolympics.org. And you can check us out there, get the basics of what's going on, all the federations. Got a lot of good information there on the website. And if you want to send us an email, it's NOC, November Oscar Charlie, NOC at virginislandsolympics.org. I'm stressing those S's there because I want to make sure you get that address correct. NOC at virginislandsolympics.org. Send your email there. Give us that awesome information. A lot of people, they lean towards Facebook. Not a problem. We can accommodate you there as well. www.facebook.com/Virgin Islands Olympics. That's right. www.facebook.com/Virgin Islands Olympics. And for those of you out there doing your thing on Twitter, check us out at Team ISV. At Team ISV. That is our handle on Twitter. Well, today is a big day. We have a in-studio guest, you know, and he appeared on a show before, but he appeared via a telephone conversation. But now he is in studio, and we are fortunate to have a special guest, and I am going to allow that guest to introduce yourself. Go ahead, sir.
Good afternoon. Yes, good afternoon, everyone listening on the radio station. This is Clayton Laurent Jr., your 91-plus representative for the U.S. Virgin Islands in the 2016 Rio Olympics.
That's right, Rio Olympics. You heard it right. The big man himself has qualified to go to Rio and share some blows down there on behalf of you, the people of the Virgin Islands. So you said 91 plus. That's 91 kilograms.
Yes, sir. 91 kilograms.
Okay, if you're 91 pounds plus, that's a way large, huge category to be in. But it's 91 kilos.
Yes, sir.
So what does that convert to the pound system?
The pound system is 201 pounds and above.
And above. So that's definitely my class weight, but I wouldn't go there either. I can't could hardly catch a ball when it comes to me, much less get the way of a hard right cross or something coming in that direction. So welcome to the studio and congratulations on your accomplishment.
Thank you so much.
You know, for most of the world, the Olympics is just something that happens every 4 years, ho-hum, you know, some games going on every 4 years or so, but it's way more than that.
Definitely.
Because for you to qualify, I'm sure you had to face up against some pretty interesting individuals, because like the people you're going in the ring against ain't trying to knock your block off as well.
Correct.
So we spoke about it before when we talked about the process, but you are halfway there, and I could bet only now the work starts
Yes, sir.
for you, because the mission is changed. The game is much, the stakes are much greater, as you are not trying to qualify now. You will be there. So let me ask you, let's say about 3 years ago, did you have in mind, man, I'm going to try and qualify for Rio?
3 years ago, I was trying to qualify for 2012 Olympics.
Okay.
And I lost to Brazil in Brazil, because the 2012 Olympic qualifiers for the Pan American region was actually in Brazil.
Right.
And I lost a controversial decision to Brazil, and I was quite upset and disappointed. And I was like, you know what, I'm ready to go pro. I done with this amateur thing. Time for me to take on a bigger fish to fry. And you know, my coaches and my dad was like, hey, you know, nothing beats a fail but a try.
Right.
You know, so it's like, hey, you know, you're still young, you still have a lot more to grow. Let's shoot for the next Pan Ams, and after the Pan Ams we'll go pro. So I said, okay, I'll stick around for the next Pan Ams, and went to the Pan Ams in 2015. Lost a controversial decision to Brazil.
You sure did.
You know, and you know, I was like, you know what? Well, hey, I'm already halfway here. What's another 8 months gonna kill me staying amateur before you go professional?
Right.
And we began to put into motion the qualifying for Olympics, and here I am.
Excellent.
You know, and that's the thing. You know, people understand how hard it is and what it means to be an Olympian. As an athlete.
Yeah.
You know, the Olympics is the best of the best. There are many great athletes who will never be considered an Olympian.
Correct. And they will never get on that stage either, you know, because the thing about the Olympics as well is the stage. Because I guarantee you there are fighters around the world in a back street, in a bar, you know, but not on that grand stage where the entire world is looking and seeing you and you know,
paying homage to your talent.
Yeah, so that I think is huge, that we have you going on the big stage to represent Team ISV. And for those of you who you know, I get a few new listeners every week, just want to remind them about Team ISV. That is our designation in the Olympic community. ISV, yes, that's for Virgin Islands. We are not VI, USVI, AVI. We are ISV. We are not Team VI. We are ISV. And I guess it's because a lot of the designations were determined in either French or Spanish. And as you know, in Spanish, we are La Isla Vírgenes.
Correct.
So ISV makes sense there, and it comes this way to us. Let's roll with it. Let's go, because it takes, trust me, more than an act of Congress to get that designation changed. So that's who we are. You are representing Team ISV. Now, the qualifiers for Rio was recently. When did this happen?
I was actually this time last weekend. I was actually in Argentina. Buenos Aires, Argentina.
And that event was a qualifier for what region?
Well, what happens is the Olympics is broke down into 5 regions. You have the Pan American region, which consists of Canada, the continental U.S., the Caribbean, and South America.
Okay.
Then you have
that includes Mexico and stuff as well.
Yes,
Guatemala.
correct.
Okay.
Mexico,
America.
Guatemala, the whole of South America,
Central and South America,
Central and South America, and the Caribbeans are involved.
Okay.
Then you have the oceanic qualifiers. You have the European qualifiers, the African qualifiers, and then you have the world qualifiers, which is a qualifier for everybody in the world can go to that Pacific qualifier and qualify.
So can you You're only allowed to do one qualifier though.
No, you can go to as much qualifiers as you can.
Really?
For your region.
No, that's what I'm saying. So let's say we're in the Pan American region,
correct.
right? And we come up a little short. Can we then go to the world qualifiers and try to get it really?
Yes, but you won't be able to go to the Asian qualifier because you're not part of the Asian topography.
Yeah. So is the world qualifier after all other qualifiers?
Correct. It's in June.
Okay, June. That's right before the Olympics.
Exactly. So everybody tries to qualify within their designated qualifier.
That way they don't have to be under the gun.
Exactly. And then when you're under the gun now, there may be more qualifying spots, but there are more athletes. So there's more fighting and there's more stress. So there's less time for you to really recover to be ready to go out again for Rio.
I guess it's a system. It's a
Definitely.
system. Yeah,
it's to wean out the tough and the weak.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you were in Argentina, less than a week ago, and you did your thing. How did it start out? Well, is there a drawing for who will fight who initially?
Correct. Basically, there's a drawing system, and it's called a swift drawing machine or something like that. And what they do is they take all the names of the athletes in that specific weight group, and it goes into a machine and goes boop, 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 and then it spits out all the names in the brackets. And based off of the brackets, it shows you how you move through the brackets. So as you fight, and when you see where you go and who you are supposed to fight.
Right.
So if you fight today, then you go onto this bracket. Then the two guys below you fight off, and the winner between that is who you meet up. The winner, then you go on to the next bracket, and then you see how it collides into going from the prelims to the quarterfinals to semis into finals.
So is it a reward of a break when you win, or do you fight and keep fighting? Or is it like the other sports where if you end up in the losers bracket, you have to continue to fight to get back into the winner's side and maybe catch a break?
Well, in boxing, it's single elimination. You know
what?
So that's single elimination. That's it. You lose once, that's it. You out.
Oh, wait. How many athletes were at this qualifier?
In my weight division or total?
In your weight division?
In my weight division, there was 15.
15. So it was single elimination?
Single elimination.
What is wrong with these people?
So and that's the thing. That's a crazy thing. And I was so blessed and fortunate. God is so good. I was able to actually, because when I fought in the quarterfinals and I beat Canada unanimously, and I lost to Cuba, who is actually the number 5 ranked amateur in the world. So he's the best in our part of the region, and I lost to him in the semifinals. So I automatically won the bronze. But in this system that they did this time around, you had to fight off for the third spot. So I won the bronze, wanted to qualify for the Olympics. So losing to Cuba put me in the loser circle, as you would say, to bounce back into being in the Olympic pool, because it's only the top 3 for my weight division qualify. So Cuba automatically solidified that by beating me in the semis. And then Trinidad was fighting Argentina, and he beat Argentina, and that solidified his trip. So those 2 guys won, because they're number 1 and number 2.
Right.
So they're fighting for the number 1 spot. Who's going to be 1 and who's going to be 2. So they automatically qualified. So myself and Argentina now, before, what would happen is the loser to the gold medalist would win 3rd place. Because he's the man.
But so you ain't give it up this time.
This time they didn't do that. So this time you have to
fight for 3rd place.
Had to fight that for 3rd place.
So that sucks.
Yes. Yeah, so in the finals now, I had to fight Argentina for the 3rd spot. I knocked him out in the 1st round with a body shot in a minute and 2 seconds of the 1st round.
In Argentina.
Wow. So it was kill or be killed. I can't allow it to. He already the hometown guy. This is his last shot. I didn't want. My mentality was I can't allow the judges to take this one from me.
So this was a Pan American qualifier.
Yeah, this was the only Pan American qualifier.
And the guy from Cuba who you fought, is this the same guy you fought in Veracruz? No, this is another guy. The guy who I fought in Veracruz lost to this guy, and this guy took his spot. Yeah. Because that guy in Veracruz, he wasn't a brawler. He was definitely more strategic of a fighter. He didn't want to get in close. He didn't want to challenge. He was just staying away.
Correct.
And when he fought against you, how did this guy fight? This Cuban that you fought this time?
The exact same way, but better.
Oh, so
that's
a system they have down there.
True, but you see, the Cubans fight based off of what they need to do.
Correct.
So he fought me based on that. I was a bigger fighter, so I was taller. I was a stronger guy. I was bigger in every dynamic but he used his let me not get hit from this guy because he get hit hard.
Moving a lot of speed.
Exactly. He just moved and just did enough just to keep me off balance. So he did everything he could just to keep me from setting up to get off my punches.
To get him one on him.
Exactly. So he would throw quick light punch. There wasn't hard punches or anything to hurt me, but they were just enough
contact to get a point.
Exactly. And what he did is he used that to dictate the pace of the fight. So amateur boxing is scored by effective aggression, superior technique, and ring gentlemanship. So the fighter who looks in the best control of the fight, or who is landing the most punches, or effective with his effective game plan, wins by the judges. So it's not always about being extremely aggressive. So I threw more punches. I was more aggressive, but because of his demeanor and his ring generalship, he actually got the score over myself. So I have to work. So now I have to work on being better at that in case we meet in Rio.
Well, I mean, if those are the items that they judge you on, period, you got to work on it, period.
Correct.
You know what I mean? Because and more than likely, like you said, this guy he'll be representing Cuba.
Correct.
So what's the guesstimate for the amount of heavyweights you think they'll be in Rio?
There should be anywhere between 20 to 35 heavyweights.
Single elimination again?
Single elimination.
Come on, that is horrible.
Yeah, it's hard.
That is horrible. That is, you train for 4 years, and in a matter of 15 minutes, how many rounds do you guys fight?
Three 3-minute rounds.
What? I'd say 3 5-minute rounds, 3-minute rounds. So that's just 9 minutes, and good grief.
In 12 minutes, your 4 years of sacrifice could be ended just like that.
Wow. That is that's different. That's different. I truly was expecting to see that you guys had more of an opportunity. I mean, but I guess that's why you're fighting to be the best in the world. The best in the world only needs one shot at it, right?
Definitely. And sometimes, like I say, sometimes styles makes fights, Yeah. So you could, the luck of that's it. We always say that, the luck of the draw. Depending on who you draw and the style that they fight could be textbook for what you need to win. And then you could draw somebody who is not, essential. Their style is just very difficult for you to compete against. And with the Cubans, they have a way of finding the right methods to isolate or to put on pause any fighter. And that's what they train to do. They train to do a little bit of everything. They train to brawl, they train to box. But the key is always about composure. They always stay in control, and that's what they used to be superior in the ring.
Now these draws, when they go and they say, well, okay, who's fighting who and this doing what? Do you trust that computer system as far as them being able to fairly just decide who is going to fight who?
Everybody, we have our doubts, honestly. It's interesting, like I fought Brazil in Tijuana for the gold medal round, for the finals to go to the Pan Am Games. And here as it, he's the first person that I compete against for the Pan American Games, and then I have a controversial loss over that, so things like that is what makes us question it, my brother fought a guy by the name of Freddie Egan back in 2007 in the World Championships, and lo and behold, he qualifies for the Olympics, and he goes all the way to Beijing, China, and his first fight's against Freddie Egan of Ireland. So I wonder how does the system really work,
You wonder because when we were in Veracruz, it was, I forgot who I was with. I was probably with Mr. Abramson, the vice president for the Olympic Committee, and a gentleman, I believe he's from, I don't know if it's Barbados or whoever. He's a high-ranking member in CONCACAF, and they're good friends, and they say, where you guys go? Oh, we're going to see the fight. Oh, you have a guy fighting today? Yeah, our heavyweight fighting. Your heavyweight is fighting now? Yeah, he got a bye. He got a bye? Who is he fighting? They say Cuba. He didn't get a bye. He got a bye. That's what the guy from Barbados said, because it was automatic to get you out. That's how he made it sound. It's like these guys wanted him out of there. He's too much trouble. That's why they had you fighting against the guy from Cuba, because I guess maybe, I don't know if you fought him before and they've seen that he has that edge But that's how he made it sound like he got by to go against Cuba. No, they try and get rid of him pretty much.
And that's what it was, That's how I felt too, because out of all the guys I could have competed against, I get Cuba first off.
First off.
So it's just interesting because I actually won the qualifying tournament to go to the CSC games in Veracruz. I actually won with gold in Colombia. So like I say, I've earned the respect of a lot of fighters, a lot of teams in the South American and in the boxing region for being a tough fight, for being really good at what I do, and whoever gets me in the prelims are not too happy getting me.
I wouldn't be happy either.
And a lot of different councils and people felt the same. It's like, you and Cuba should have been a fight for the finals because everybody else who Cuba faced after that was a walkthrough. Yeah. He basically walked through the competition.
Okay, well, let's take a break here on VIOC in action. We're talking with the heavyweight boxer for Team ISV, Clayton Laurent. So we'll be right back after these messages.
Skeleton Racer for Team ISV, and you are listening to VIOC in action.
This is your high hurdle specialist, Eddie Lovett, for Team VI, and you're tuned in to VIOC in action.
Hi, this is Tim Pitts, 2004 Olympic sailor for the Virgin Islands, sailing the laser class on VIOC in action.
This is Mr. One Time for the One Time, Leon Hunt, long jump record holder for Team VI. Thank you for logging on to VIOC in action.
Alrighty, well, welcome back to VIOC in action, and we have our final few minutes here with the big man himself, Clayton Laurent, the 91 kilos, you say?
91 plus kilos.
91 plus, so that's heavyweight to the average man.
Yes, heavyweight to the average man.
Heavyweight boxer for Team ISV. So now that you have qualified, you went down to Chile, it was?
No, Buenos Aires,
Argentina. You went to Argentina. You did your thing. You qualified for Rio 2016. What does the road look like from here to August?
Well, the road looks bright. It's full of hills because, we got to get up to par. But I think the road is bright. We did what we need to do in Argentina to get here, and it's just forward from here. I just need to continue to sharpen up my tools and my skills. Because, as a fighter, you're always learning. There's always room for improvement. There's always things that you can do better. Even though you may have won or lose or whatever the case may be, there's always room for growth and improvement. And so the coaches told me what they want us to work on. So just working on some sharp tuning. Like I said, against the Cuban, I was able to see things that I wouldn't have seen if I fought somebody else. That some holes in my defense, some holes in the offense, some offensive things that I need to work on to be sharper for Rio, and just doing my best, just working on getting things together. Hopefully I'll be able to do some competitions prior to work on some things that I've been working on since then, and use those competitions to get sharp and be effective for Rio.
Now, in 2016, social media is big in just about every aspect, and with the athletes, I know the president of the VIOC, Angel Chico Morales, he wants to make sure that our athletes get all the support. Someone may want to call in at 779-1079 or 713-1079. And the president, Angel Chico Morales, he wants the athletes to know that they have that support out there. So is there any way that people could either follow you on Facebook or check you out on Twitter and keep up to date with your training and, the different things you're going to on the road to Rio?
Definitely. You can follow me on social media. You can follow me on Facebook, which is my name, Clayton Laurent Jr. That's on Facebook. If you want to follow me on Instagram, is Mr. Focus _ on Snapchat, I'm Mr. Focus 24. And on Twitter, my name is Clay _Boxer _2012. And you can catch me on social media at any time. And I just want to thank everybody who also follows me on social media. You guys have been sending me your love via Facebook and Instagram, and I just appreciate everything. And the prayers as well. You know, I feel the prayers, man.
Awesome. That's good. And I know people want to. God, with me, if I see you running on the road, boom, 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 you know, I'm going to hit you the hand when I see you on the road, you know. But we have a caller. Let's go to the phones. Good afternoon, caller. You are on the air.
Good afternoon. Virgin Islands live in the building.
How you doing,
This is,
sir?
of course, Mr. One Time for the one time.
Bookie, what you saying?
Okay, now.
How you
Dave
doing,
out,
brother?
man.
I hear you turn on the radio. They say, what? I've been going. Let me tune in. Hey, man, congratulations, Clayton.
Appreciate it, man.
For real,
Appreciate it.
man. Congratulations. For real.
Hey, don't move. I want you to hear this here real quick, okay?
Okay.
This is Mr. One Time for the One Time Leon Hunt, long jump record holder for Team VI. Thank you for logging on to VIOC in action.
Bookie, you're famous, man.
Famous. We got you
Hey,
here.
man. Hey, it's all love, man. It's all love, man. Definitely
For
for the
sure.
Virgin Island people. We here strong. For sure.
Definitely.
Like the big money in the building over there. Strong Clayton holding it down.
Yes,
You
sir.
already know.
So what's your
Yeah.
status now, Bookie?
Well, if I just tune in, I just left Triple Fitness CrossFit over here in St. Croix.
Uh-huh.
I leave in next week. Actually, this week coming up. Starting the season out in Orlando.
Okay.
I'm going up there for some qualification meets.
Sweet.
So I'll pretty much be in, I guess, Central and South Florida for the next 2 months.
Well,
Yeah.
make
That's
sure
fine.
you give our listeners your social media contacts so that way they could follow you.
Gotcha, I got it. What I want, hey, we got a long list, you know.
Send it.
Yeah, ready?
Stop playing. Send it.
Hey, no, but the best one to get me on is probably Instagram.
Okay.
At B17Bookie. For sure. That's what it is. At B17Bookie.
All right. B17 Bookie. At B17 Bookie.
Yep, at B17Bookie.
All right. All right. So everything safe?
Yeah, I'm here now, man. I'm actually supposed to go ahead down to Frederickstead. They have this coconut cup. So I did my workout this morning and grab some lunch to go down there and support the people and that's doing. I think it's like a surfing type of thing.
Okay.
Some of those support those athletes down there, you know?
Definitely, man. We got support to all the locals, man.
Yeah. All right, fellas.
All
Once
right.
again,
All right,
Clayton, keep on holding it down, man. Hey, once I hear this man qualify, I just say, what? This man hypes me up again, you know?
Let's go.
Like
Try
that.
and see you in Rio, bro.
That's
Try and see you in
right.
Rio.
Yeah. All right, man. Y'all hold it down.
All right.
For
Thanks,
sure.
Leon.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. That's Leon Bookie Hunt. That's the long distance
Long
jump record holder for
record
Team
holder for
ISV.
TISV.
And he's doing his thing, working hard, trying to get ready to get down there to Rio as well. And I
Yes,
want
sir.
to have a good contingent representing for the VI. And another caller here. Let's grab this caller. Good afternoon, caller. You are on the air.
Good afternoon. I'm calling from Sasola.
Hey, how you doing, sir?
I just want to congratulate the gentleman there and let him know that if you could believe it within his heart that he could come get born in 2016 Olympics, it can happen.
That's right.
Thank you.
Just put in the work now. I have a question.
Yes, sir.
I have two guys from Sasola, two young guys, under 25
Mm-hmm.
years old. They do the kickboxing stuff, right? But I know if they get into boxing, they should do very well because they're very athletic, they're very strong built. You guys have any program down there that Sasola can be a part of? Or?
Yeah, we have we definitely have a I believe I can fly boxing program, and we actually had a Tatola native fighting on the team as well. His name is Kimali Mambeli, and he actually was fighting at 118 for about 2 years while he was down here living in St. Thomas. But definitely they can come down here and be a part of the program. You just have to contact the vice president and head coach, which is Mr. Julian Jackson Sr., and he will be more than happy to help you.
You have a number for him?
What is his number?
His number is area code 340-513-2861.
Okay, thank you much, man. And again, all the best in Rio.
Oh, thank you for calling and for
call.
your support, man. Thank you for all the positive influences, man.
Yes, man. Yes, okay, cool.
Thank
All
you.
right.
Yes, sir, and that's Clayton Laurent. And I know you have something you have to run off and do, and we want you to get to all your other events. So this is what we're going to do. We have a segment that talks about the importance of Olympism. One of the professors that made a presentation a while ago. We will play this now while we get you off and running. And we had a fan text me that they want to hear your drop clean. So we're going to definitely get your drop right now. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to step away, let the professor give his speech, and we'll be right back in about 10 minutes.
Sometimes I work in schools, sometimes with very small children, on Olympic ideas. And I ask these children to tell me what they think about 3 ideas. The first one is Olympic. I say to them, what do you think of when somebody says the word Olympic? This is what the kids get. They know it's a 2-week festival of sport. It's not like the championship in any sport, which lasts a longer period of time, a season, right? It's 2 weeks. Secondly, they fully understand it only takes 4 years. Especially British kids know this now. Very young British kids know this because we had 2012. And they knew the previous one was 2008. And the next one's going to be in Rio in 4 years' time. They know that. And they know that it's about elite athletes. They know it's about the very, very, very best in the world. They understand that. Or except in football, where they don't send their very, very best, do they? They send it, right? Think about that. If the Olympic Games is supposed to be about the very, 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 very best, they should ban football at the Olympic Games because Blatter wants FIFA to have the World Cup, right, as its primary event. If the primary event is not at the Olympic Games, that's a good argument for getting rid of football out of the Olympic Games. But anyway. They know, and I'm a footballer. Oh, no, I was many years. So it's between the elites and it's intercommunal competition. Everybody understands that it's flags and countries and so on, and that you're representing in the ancient times, you're representing your city-state. In the modern times, you're representing your country. So very small kids get this. They've got an idea of Olympic. They know what it is. So I say the next word is Olympiad. Right. What is Olympiad? And they nearly all get it wrong. They don't know what an Olympiad is. Some of them say it means an Olympic athlete is an Olympiad. Or some of them say it's one edition of the Olympic Games, like the London Olympiad. Right. And it's not. You'll know, of course, already, being students of the Olympic movement, you will know that an Olympiad is a 4-year period. An Olympiad is a calendar term. It refers to a 4-year period during which a Games might be held or not be held. So you'll know that the London Games are not properly referred to as the 30th Games, but as the Games of the 30th Olympiad, because the Olympiad exists whether or not the Games exist. And 4 times in the 20th century, due to world wars, we've not had 3 times we've not had Olympic Games. So it's the 27th Games, but the Games of the 30th Olympiad. You'll know that already. And then I ask them, what about Olympism? So Olympic, Olympiad, Olympism. They never heard of it. They never heard of it. I do work in universities with students, usually with students of physical education, sport, and exercise science, this kind of area. Sometimes I work with other groups of students, but usually it's with sport and PE type students. They don't know either. Isn't it amazing that you've got these people whose profession is supposed to be in the area of sport, and they know nothing about Olympism? NOCs, what are you doing? NOCs, if you can't reach these people, right, you'll not reach anybody. These are the reachable people. These are the people who are committed already. These are the enthusiasts already, and they don't know. So NOCs, are you doing a job? That's my question. But what I try to do with the kids is to show them how they know what Olympic is, they understand what the Olympic Games is all about, and I try to contrast it. So, Olympic, 2 weeks, 4 years, elites, intercommunal. Okay? Olympism, not just the elite athlete. Olympism is about everybody. It's about sport for all, and it's about physical education in all schools. It's not just a short period, 2 weeks, but it's the whole of life. Olympism is a concept that applies to the whole of your life. So Olympism applies to me as an old guy as much as it applies to a kid in primary school. It's not just about competition and winning. It's also about the values of participation and cooperation. I can prove that, if you like. I mean, all of these propositions are just hot air coming out of my mouth, right? I've not substantiated any of these propositions. They're just assertions. You don't have to believe any of this stuff, right? But I believe I can substantiate them. Let me give an example. Why do I say that Olympism and engagement in sport generally is necessarily has the values of participation and cooperation? Well, it's because you can't have a game without the other person. You can't have a contest or a competition without the opposition. So before you can compete, you have to cooperate in the production of a social practice of a sport. There has to be such a thing as a sport, ongoing, cooperative enterprise, before you can compete in it. It's the cooperation that makes the competition possible. So in sport, everybody thinks, oh, sport is about competition, and that's conflict and opponents and biting each other and stuff like that, right? I say no. In logic, cooperation comes first. So when Pierre de Coubertin says, it's not the winning, it's the taking part, he doesn't mean, people take him to mean the winning is not important. It's not important to win medals. He didn't mean that at all. He thought winning was very, very, very important. And he thought competition as a motivator for personal excellence and as a motivator towards physical education, competition was a very, very important thing. But he saw that cooperation was logically necessary. You have to have prior cooperation before you can have winners. 10,500 athletes at the Olympic Games. 10,500. How many gold medal winners? Does anybody know how many gold medals are up for grabs at the Olympics? 300? 400? I don't know. Let's say 500. If there are 500 gold medals or 500 medals available at the Olympics, 10,000 athletes get nothing, go home with nothing, right? Was it a waste of time? It's a waste of time? Because, of course not. Why? Because it's a great triumph to be cooperating and participating in the Olympic Games. I missed the Olympic Games. I didn't get a chance to go. I missed out. What I would have given for the opportunity to go there. Huh? Never mind win, medals. Most athletes who go there know in advance they're not going to win. So why go? As de Coubertin said, it's not necessarily the winning, it's the taking part. The honor lies in the taking part. And without people who take part, you can't have winners. And not just sport as an activity. Olympism is not just about sport. It's about the values of sport. The values of sport as an educational and socially transformative influence. So it's the social and individual personal effects of sport that Olympism is concerned with. So just to say, just to wrap all this kind of stuff up, Olympism, in a few phrases, a universal social philosophy that emphasizes the role of sport in global development. You know, sport for peace and development, where does that come from? Originally, the motivation was Olympism. Sport for international understanding, you think that works? Sport for peaceful coexistence, you think that helps? Sport for justice, equality and fairness. Sport striking a blow for anti-discrimination, you think that works? I'm sure it does. Sport for social and moral education. Can sport be educationally useful? I think it can. And that's what Olympism says, okay? And this is not just hot air coming from my mouth, because I stole all of this, right? I stole all of this from other places and other people. And here's one source. Have you read it? Why not? You know you're here in the cradle of Olympism, and you haven't read the Olympic Charter yet. Read it today. You can download it off the internet. Read what the principles are supposed to be of this organization and all other Olympic organizations, because it's on a piece of paper.
That's right, it's in writing. There's no need to guess about it. And he's telling you it's all there. Olympism is more than just going to win, because if you don't show up, how can you win? If you do not show, how can you win? And I'm one of those people who believe true and true. If you and I are in the same competition, even though you may be higher ranked or the more powerful, the stronger, the taller, the faster, I still have an opportunity to win. So that's why you show up. Okay, let's take our final break here on VIOC in action. We'll be right back.
This is Dr. Jerry Smith, physical therapist with the VI Olympic Committee. To unleash the elite athlete in you, the key ingredients are good nutrition, hard work, and dedication. Give yourself what you need to get in and stay in the game. Tune into VIOC in action for tips and fun activities to unleash the elite athlete in you.
Hi, this is Tim Pitts, 2004 Olympic sailor for the Virgin Islands, sailing the laser class on VIOC in action.
Hi, this is Cy Thompson, laser sailor for Team ISV, and you're listening to VIOC in action.
Hey, this is Lynn Reed, Secretary General of the Virgin Islands Olympic Committee. Wanted to thank you for listening to VIOC in action.
That's right, all the players of the VIOC Team ISV, they are thanking you for tuning in and listening to us here. And we want you to continue to support all of our athletes, all of the efforts of the Virgin Islands Olympic Committee under the leadership of President Angel Chico Morales. Mr. President is doing big things, trying to get the word out. Want you all to know just exactly what's going on. And, you know, this show we had great words from the heavyweight boxer for Team ISV, Clayton Laurent. And, you know, we want to give him his continued support. So when you're driving, you know, 5:30, 5 o'clock in the morning, and you see this big guy down the road and he's going through training and he's shadow boxing with himself on the apron, you say, hey, champ, boop, 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 boop. Good luck. Because we definitely need to show the support for all of those who participate for Team ISV, because it's just big. It's just big all around. So we want to continue and encourage you to make contact with the Virgin Islands Olympic Committee office. You can call the office during the work hours at 340-719-8462. 340-719-8462. Visit our website at www.virginislandsolympics.org. www.virginislandsolympics.org. You want to send us an email? Send it to NOC@virginislandsolympics.org. That is NOC@virginislandsolympics.org. You want to look us up on Facebook? Well, why not? Check us out on www.facebook.com/Virgin Islands Olympics. That's facebook.com/Virgin Islands Olympics. And our Twitter handle is @Team ISV. I want to thank you for listening to VIOC in action, and we'll see you next week.
This is Angel Chico Morales, President of the Virgin Islands Olympic Committee, thanking you for joining us on VIOC in Action.